a tin shack some 25 meters up the hill. The man standing in the truck bed fired a single shot of return fire before he tumbled off the side and down into the muddy ditch in the center of the road. The incoming gunfire continued, and Nabiov recognized the reports as several Kalashnikovs and a single Russian PPM light machine gun. As he turned, he was showered with sparks from copper-jacketed bullets impacting the stone wall of the barn. He ducked lower and crashed into his protection detail as he shoved them back into the barn. He and two others ran through the dark structure, shoved past a pair of donkeys tied on the western wall, making for a large window, but an explosion stopped them in their tracks. Nabiov pulled away from his men, ran to the stone wall, peered out through a wide crack that had been torturing him with a drought throughout the night. Above the village, hanging over the valley, two helicopter gunships arrived on station. Their silhouettes were just blacker than the black sky, until each fired another salvo of rockets from their pylons. Then the metal beasts were illuminated. The streaks of flame raced toward the village ahead of white plumes, and earth-shaking explosions rocked the building 100 meters to the west. "Black sharks!" he called out to the road. "Back door!" one of his men yelled as he ran, and Nabiov followed, although he now knew his position would be surrounded. No one would crawl for miles to hit this place, as he was now certain the Russians had done, only to forget to cut off his escape route. Still, there were no options. The next rocket salvo could hit this barn and martyr him and his men without allowing them the opportunity to take some influence with them. The Russians at the back of the barn stayed low and silent in their four groups of two, waiting patiently while the attack commenced up the hill, and the Black Sharks arrived on station and began dispensing death with their rifle rockets. Alpha Group had positioned two of their men to secure their 6 o'clock position, to keep an eye out for any mujahideen or armed civilians moving up the hill from the village. But the two-man team with that duty did not have line of sight on a small cinder block shack just to the southeast of the easternmost pair of Spetsnaz operators. From a dark, open window, the muzzle of a bolt-action rifle inched out, aimed at the nearest Russian, and just as the back door of the barn opened, the bolt-action rifle barked. The Alpha Group man was hit in the steel plate on his back, and the round knocked him forward onto his chest. His partner spun toward the threat and opened up on the cinder block shack, and the rebels escaping out the back of the barn had a moment's warning that they were stumbling into a trap. All 5 Dagestanis entered the open space behind the barn with their fingers on their triggers, Kalashnikov rounds spraying left and right, peppering everything ahead of them in the dark as they stumbled through the doorway. One Spetsnaz officer took a chunk of copper, a hot, twisted fragment from a 7.62mm ricochet off of a stone in front of him, directly into his throat, tearing through his Adam's apple and then severing his carotid artery. He fell backward, clutching his neck and writhing in his death throes. All pretense of a capture mission disappeared in that moment, and his men returned fire on the terrorists in the road as more Mujahideen gunmen poured out of the doorway of the stone barn. The leader of Nabiov's security detail shielded him with his body when the Russians started shooting. The man was hit within a second of doing so, his torso riddled with 5.45 caliber rounds. More of Nabiov's men fell around him, but the team kept up the fire as their leader desperately tried to get away. He dove to the side, rolled in the dirt away from the barn door, and then climbed back up to his feet while blasting the night with his AK-74U. He emptied his weapon while running parallel to the wall of the barn, then stumbled into a dark